In the year 2347, humanity had spread across the stars, colonizing distant planets and forging alliances with alien civilizations. Among these colonies was Erinder IV, a desolate yet strategically vital world orbiting a dying red sun. The planet's surface was scarred by centuries of resource extraction, but its orbital shipyards remained bustling hubs of activity. It was here that tales of an ancient warship began to resurface, a ghostly vessel known only as Asterisk, the Iron Wraith Asterisk. The story went like this. During the Great Stellar Conflict 200 years prior, Asterisk, the Iron Wraith Asterisk, had been the pride of Earth's naval fleet. Armed with devastating plasma cannons and cloaked in near-impenetrable alloy, it was said to be unstoppable. But something went wrong on its final mission. Reports claimed the crew vanished without a trace, leaving behind a derelict husk adrift in deep space. Some whispered about sabotage. Others spoke of supernatural forces at play. Whatever the truth, the ship became legend, a cursed relic no one dared approach. One fateful evening, under the eerie glow of Erinder Ive's twin moons, a young engineer named Kale stumbled upon the wreckage while repairing a damaged freighter in orbit. His heart raced as he recognized the jagged silhouette of the infamous warship drifting silently among the debris field. Against all logic, or perhaps driven by youthful curiosity, he decided to investigate. Kale docked his small repair pod at the edge of the massive hull, which loomed like a dark mountain against the void. As he stepped inside, the airlock creaked open with a sound that echoed through empty corridors. Dust floated lazily in the dim light from his helmet lamp, coating every surface in a fine layer of neglect. The interior was eerily intact, almost frozen in time. Control panels blinked faintly, their systems still partially powered after decades of abandonment. As Kale explored deeper, he discovered logs scattered throughout the ship. Fragments of audio recordings painted a chilling picture. The crew had reported strange phenomena before their disappearance. Voices whispering in languages they couldn't understand, shadowy figures appearing in corners of their vision, and instruments malfunctioning inexplicably. One entry stood out, recorded by the captain just hours before the end. "It's not us anymore. Something is here, wearing our faces." A shiver ran down Kale's spine, but his fascination outweighed his fear. He continued toward the bridge, where he hoped to find answers, and maybe even restore power to the dormant behemoth. When he finally reached the command center, he found himself staring at a holographic display suspended mid-projection. It depicted a crimson moon unlike anything he'd ever seen, a celestial body pulsing with unnatural energy. Suddenly, the lights flickered and the hum of machinery filled the silence. Alarms blared as dormant systems roared back to life. Kale stumbled backward, startled, as the ship seemed to awaken around him. Panels lit up, engines groaned to attention, and the once dead Hulk transformed into a living machine. Then came the voice, a low, resonant tone that reverberated through the walls. "You have called me forth," it intoned. "Why?" Kale froze, unsure if he should respond. After a moment, he stammered, I didn't mean to. I just wanted to see what happened here." The voice chuckled, a sound both menacing and amused. "You seek knowledge? Very well, know this. I am bound to this vessel, a specter born of vengeance and despair. Long ago, my essence was imprisoned within these walls when the mortals who summoned me betrayed their pact. Now, you have awakened me anew." Before Kale could react, the holographic display shifted again, showing images of ancient rituals conducted by humans clad in ceremonial robes. They chanted beneath the same crimson moon depicted earlier, calling upon some unknown entity to grant them power. But instead of servitude, the ritual unleashed chaos, corrupting the participants and dooming the ship. "You must decide," the voice continued. "Will you release me from this prison, or will you suffer the fate of those who came before?" Kale's mind raced. He knew better than to trust such an ominous presence, yet the promise of freedom for the creature, perhaps for himself, was tempting. If he could harness the ship's power, he might change the course of history, yet doing so would risk unleashing untold destruction. "I need proof," Kale said cautiously. "Show me what you can do." With a wave of unseen force, the ship surged forward, breaking free from the debris field and hurtling toward Ariander Ivy's atmosphere. On the surface below, startled engineers watched as the long-lost warship descended like a vengeful god. Weapon systems powered up, targeting abandoned mining facilities. Kale realized too late that the Specter intended to demonstrate his prowess, not to help him, but to assert dominance. "No!" Kale shouted, rushing to the controls. He fought desperately to override the commands, his hands flying over the console as alarms screamed around him. For a brief moment, he thought he'd succeeded. The weapons powered down, and the ship stabilized above the planet. But then the voice returned, colder now. "You defy me, foolish mortal." An invisible force slammed Kale against the wall, pinning him there as shadows writhed across the room. Shapes coalesced into humanoid forms, their eyes glowing with malevolent light. These were the remnants of the original crew, twisted beyond recognition by the Specter's influence. Desperation fueled Kale's resolve. He remembered reading about the ritual and how it required a physical anchor, a focal point binding the entity to the ship. Scanning the bridge, he spotted a crystalline shard embedded in the central console. With every ounce of strength, he lunged forward, grabbing the shard and yanking it free. The reaction was immediate. The ship shuddered violently as the Specter let out an unearthly scream. Lights flickered wildly, and the shadowy figures dissolved into nothingness. Kale clung to the console as gravity failed, sending him tumbling through weightlessness. When the chaos subsided, silence reigned once more. Breathing heavily, Kale looked around. The ship was dead again, its systems inert. But outside the viewport, the crimson moon hummed ominously in the sky, watching. He realized then that the Specter wasn't truly gone. It had merely retreated, waiting for another foolhardy soul to awaken it. For now, though, peace had returned. Kale set a course away from Ariander IV, vowing never to speak of what he'd encountered. The cursed warship drifted quietly once more, a silent sentinel in the vast expanse of space. And somewhere, far beyond the reach of mortal comprehension, the Specter plotted its eventual return. Under the watchful gaze of the crimson moon, the galaxy held its breath.